Whoa. Alright guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. Yeah, as the title said, this is basically going to be a video about why I've started a YouTube channel at the age of 27. So yeah, in general, throughout my sort of like teenage years and early 20s, I kind of followed a pretty traditional path. Tried to get good grades at school, went to university, studied engineering, got a good degree at university, and then immediately after that I got a job as a project engineer, and was working there for around, worked there for around 4 years. And during my time there, it was good. There was good parts of my job. I learned a lot. But yeah, I also just felt like there was something that I don't know, something missing, something that I wanted to do deep down. And it kind of started to come to fruition when I started to take solo trips, like sort of holidays from my work, to, not sure, places in Europe, maybe 1 week at a time, a weekend. And then, I think the real turning point was when I took my longest trip from work. Oh, I think the camera's hopefully not going to get knocked over. A lot of wind here. Basically, I went to Thailand for 3 weeks, the classic Southeast Asia destination. I think I was 24 at the time, 25. And so I went out to Thailand, had a great time. But I ended up meeting other solo travellers out there who were my age, maybe a bit younger, who were on really, really long trips, maybe 6 months, 9 months, a year. And it just kind of really opened my mind to that sort of possibility, which hadn't really come to I didn't think it was like a real thing. Being on the traditional path for a while, I was very focused on saving money, investing in the right places for long-term future benefits, saving up for a house, things like that. So after this trip, I kind of fell in love with the thought of traveling, and I had this sort of like this fire in my belly to if they can do these trips, why isn't it possible for me? Not just to do these 2 to 3 week, maybe 1 weekend, 1 week or whatever, solo trips to a place just to kind of like run around like a headless chicken as a tourist, going from sort of landmark to landmark in cities and in countries. Why can't I have like something a bit deeper? So at the beginning of last year, I was living in a big city in Scotland, Glasgow, and I started doing salsa classes. And it was here that I kind of, really enjoyed social dancing. And I also started to really enjoy listening to salsa music, the Spanish. And this sort of planted a further idea in my head that I wanted to understand what the words were being said in these songs, and to be able to speak Spanish it became sort of like a dream of mine. These two ideas sort of came together the start of last year, where I realised that maybe it's a great idea to maybe take a little bit of a break from my career, quit my job essentially, and travel Latin America, where I'm combining two of the things that I had curiosity about, going travelling solo for an extended period of time in somewhere that was affordable, with the savings that I'd sort of, saved up over the course of 3-4 years working as an engineer. Instead of putting that towards a house deposit, actually maybe putting it into an experience that is probably more valuable than any physical thing, and also try and be able to learn a language at the same time, because obviously in Latin America, every country you go to, all the locals speak Spanish. If you were to do it in other places, Southeast Asia, Europe, you're going to have a bit more difficulties there. And what I really wanted was a deeper experience, somewhere where I could actually interact with the locals and speak their language and understand their culture, their customs. So the September last year, I basically took a one-way flight to Colombia, Medellin to be specific, and I ended up living there for 5 months. And all I did in Medellin was attend a Spanish school, and also do Spanish salsa, bachata, social dancing in the evenings. Basically, it was almost like a mini retirement. But yeah, from there, my Spanish really improved. So yeah, fast forward to now. After spending around 6 months in total, 5 months in Medellin, 1 month backpacking Colombia, the rest of Colombia. I then took a flight to Lima, Peru, traveled Peru for around 6 weeks, crossed the border into Bolivia, spent there 2.5 months. And throughout the time I was kind of focusing on Spanish, speaking to locals, taking classes, for example, in Sucre in Bolivia. Just trying to enjoy the experience of the travels and also try and keep up with my Spanish as well. And after Bolivia, I then took a flight to Quito, and actually where we are now is not far from there in Ecuador. This is Cotopaxi. You can actually see her just now. This is the mountain Cotopaxi. I'm currently staying at a hostel called the Secret Garden. So I've now been around close to 10 months into this trip. In terms of my Spanish level just now, I would say that in terms of having one-to-one conversations with people in Spanish, and as long as it's not a really strong accent or a dialect, the conversation flows pretty well. I can currently watch YouTube videos from native content like vloggers or stuff that I'm interested in, like educational content, economics, whatever. And I understand that no problem. I'm watching TV shows, cartoons, everything without much of an issue. So I'm finding at this current stage, getting the input of Spanish a little bit more difficult now that I'm on the move. When you're in the Gringo Trail, there's a lot more English. So yeah, that's what I've been using to practice more when I haven't had the chance to have like longer, deeper conversations like I did in the Spanish schools. And I would say the most important resource that I came across in my Spanish journey was a website and YouTube channel called Dreaming Spanish. I won't go into depth into the method and comprehensible input and stuff just now, but all I'll say right now is that wow, Dreaming Spanish, thank you Pablo, thank you the team. I was a kid that that's tried in Scotland. It's normally French that you get taught at school. I don't think it really matters what language it is you learn at school, but it always was in my mind that I just wasn't a person that could learn languages. Like the way that they teach you in school it just never really. I thought if I'm not learning what in a school environment, I didn't think I had the mind to do it. But yeah, reading Pablo's blog, watching his videos around the subject, getting into the research of Stephen Krashen around comprehensible input, and actually spending time with this method, watching Dreaming Spanish beginner videos and working my way up the levels and things. I'm currently at just side note, I'm currently at 1,550 hours, so I've completed Dreaming Spanish in a sense just now. And yeah, without that resource, without this sort of idea of comprehensible input and understanding it, and utilising that in my lessons, and not studying grammar and vocabulary, and just basically having one-to-one conversations throughout all of my Spanish lessons I've had here. It's literally changed my language, my ideas around language learning, and opened my mind to the fact that I can do it. And without it, it wouldn't have been possible anyway. So that has been a super, super important part of my journey. And maybe if I hadn't, and I started Dreaming Spanish in Scotland before I came out here, and maybe if I hadn't seen the method and seen it working at home, and that there was possibility to develop with a reasonable amount of time, maybe I wouldn't have chosen to do this trip in the first place, because I wouldn't have believed in myself that learning a language was actually possible. So thank you guys at Dreaming Spanish. But anyway, that's been a real focus for me the past 10 months of this travels has really been enjoying myself, obviously trying to be present in the moment, and also focus on my Spanish, binge watching Spanish stuff, going to schools a couple hours a day, So it's been a lot of my mental capacity recently. But now that I'm at a level where I'm quite comfortable with Spanish and I know that I can keep it going quite well on the road, and that it's useful at the level it's at now, I've decided that I kind of I brought this camera out from Scotland. It's been with me for 10 months. All I've been doing is just taking little video vlogs of my travels, which I might use in future in some of these videos, but they really were just for me, just to kind of have the memories of the times and the people that during my trip, so I could look back and maybe show family or friends some of the things that I'd done, and just like a personal log basically. But now I feel like I've been procrastinating on maybe some sort of creative project, and I think that now is a good time to start one basically. Coming to the present day again, I'm currently in Ecuador, and I plan to continue travelling in Latin America until probably before Christmas time. I think I want to go back for Christmas. It's already been close to a year away from home, and so that's my plan, is to keep travelling through a few countries. It's all very plan and paper. I kind of like to book trips one at a time, so we'll see how that goes. But I obviously want to continue working on my Spanish, and I think that with this YouTube channel, hopefully it'll help me speak about information and resources that I've used, and maybe come across similar people who are trying it or on the same journey as me. I also think it's a good opportunity to potentially, maybe just like have some YouTube videos out in the wild in Latin America with conversations with locals, so that it can, help me focus on my Spanish, give me a daily task to try and, get out there and speak to locals, and have people on YouTube try and maybe give me some correction, some help on improving as well. So I really think this will be a good step in terms of improving my Spanish and continuing that journey. But this is just like a creative it's not just going to be a Spanish channel. I don't think. I honestly want an outlet as well, just to talk about things I'm interested in. So solo travel, things around solo travel, books that I've read, resources. It's obviously a big part of my life recently has been Spanish, and I do want to talk about that and go into a bit more depth and stuff in videos. It could be about it's going to be about things I'm interested in basically, and sharing those with people online, and maybe coming across similar people who have similar interests. That's where I'm at just now, and I just wanted to kind of get this first video. I don't know what the audio quality is going to be like. There's quite a lot of wind around here. It's good in the dry season in the mountains of Ecuador, so hopefully I don't look back on this footage and it's just like totally inaudible. I just wanted to get this first video done and out of the way, and then hopefully can continue from there. I'm thinking about maybe taking some short videos as well, just like interactions with people during this trip. Try and do that on a more consistent basis, and then maybe try and do a video every week on this channel talking about my experiences with Dreaming Spanish, tips for people who are starting out, whether it's worked. It's a bit spoiler, it has. And other themes and topics maybe around solo traveling and my journey and my decision making to leave the traditional path and the struggles around that, and some of my inspirations in terms of reading books, resources. So hopefully this is the first of many, and hopefully I don't procrastinate on making many YouTube videos throughout this trip, because it is very easy to get caught up in the Gringo Trail and just have fun here. But I do want to have some sort of creative outlet at the same time, have some sort of side project. So thanks for listening to this ramble. Hopefully it doesn't come off. This is my first video, so I'm not surprised if it's going to be a load of rubbish that I'm speaking as well. But thank you guys for watching, and if you're interested in anything that I'm speaking about, then reach out and let me know about your journey with Spanish or your ideas around solo travel, and then I'm going to keep trying to post things. So thanks guys.